Oh boy. So this popped up in my feed. We got a serious talk about Apex Legends from your boy, his Watson. Okay. So for me, I think I spent about 2 years playing Apex, trying to get good on M&K, and the first like half was very it wasn't bad. I mean, all I did was just solo queue. Um, and I was like in the quote unquote learning stages of my experience with the game. Once I got a couple seasons under my belt, I mean, you know, I was like stuck in Diamond forever, but whatever. Um, Let me see what Watson's got to say.
As I'm sure we're all aware, Apex Legends has had it quite rough the past
The
couple years.
fuck is this shirt? Money is calling. Oh my god.
Player counts have been steadily declining for years.
Oh, 24-hour peak of 130 plus K. Players right now, 50. Ah, that's not bad. Um, I would say Apex is competing right now with Marvel Rivals and a lot of other like live service competitive shooting games. So there, you have to take that caveat into play as well. Like Marvel Rivals is the new kid on the block, and people want to go check it out. People want to see it. Apparently, there's like a ranked mode that I was unaware of, and I guess they're gonna start leaning into a little bit more of the competitive side of Marvel Rivals. Uh, Good for them if they can do it right. Bringing back 6v6, good for them. Um, but I mean, yeah, you take this with a grain of salt. You have to add that little asterisk of also right now, Marvel Rivals is out.
And everyone is throwing fingers different directions. So I wanted to talk about my experience playing the game, why I've stopped playing so much, and why I don't plan to play hardly at all going forward. I've
Oh
played this game
shit!
for 4 years, and I've been every type of player. I've played it casually for a while with friends.
Oh, that was me. I played it kind of casually.
Played ranked casually, competed at the
Oh, I tried to be good at rank, but I was just pretty much dog shit.
highest level, and played ranked
Yeah, I
professionally.
was
So I've had
never
a mix
that.
of it just being my hobby and being a full-time job. I've played this game every way possible. I've seen it from every angle. And as a pro player and streamer, I've also heard lots of insider information and schemes or secrets or
Oh, schemes! I love schemes. Drama. What's the latest drama on Apex?
whatever you want to call them, which I'll get into later. And spoiler, was ultimately the reason I gave up on the game. So I'm not going to start from the
Good.
beginning. It's a live service game, and the current version is all that matters. I will frequently bring up anecdotes from the past, but only if I feel as though they are relevant to why the game is currently the way it is. Let's start with what has become the absolute number one reason why I think the game has.
It's all relevant. There's never a thing that's not relevant. It's all relevant. If anyone wants to say that EA or Respawn did this in the past and then they turned it around, it's relevant. It's always relevant because it puts you like if somebody made a mistake pushing like a patch through or thinking about trying to push a certain philosophy or a concept onto the general player base, that is a core issue. And it's all relevant. There's never anything that's not relevant.
Fallen to such a low. And I'll use an example. Take Skyrim. It is one of the best selling games of all time, and people still play it to this day
Mm-hmm.
over 10 years later. However, there are also tons of people.
Has it only been 10 years since Skyrim got released? Let me see. Skyrim release date. Nah, it's more than 10 years, dog. Was it 23 about to be 24? No. No, no. I am completely bad. It's 13, 14. It's about to be 14 years ago ish. Holy. Bro, there's been a version of Skyrim for every console. Oh my god. I played this shit on the 360, dude. Oh my god, it's been forever. Wait. You're telling me from Skyrim to whenever the next Elder Scrolls is gonna come out, it took them that long? I had to test some shit out on what was the space game that they just made? The space one with the weird faces. I fucking forgot. It was like literally a relevant game. It's bad anyway, but whatever.
Who don't like Skyrim. And Skyrim doesn't care if you don't like it. If you don't like open world fantasy vibe, that's fine. You can go play something else. It's not trying to appease everyone. Apex Legends, however,
Was it? Was Skyrim trying to appeal to everyone? I mean, yeah, probably. I mean, essentially, Skyrim was your quintessential solo Lord of the Rings simulation, more or less. That's what it captured, at least for me, like in multiple things.
constantly flips back and forth between what audience it is trying to capture.
Really?
And while doing so, it loses both of them. Live service games tend.
So what? So Apex is like this patch or this season will cater to casuals. Next patch or season we will cater to competitive, and it'll go back and forth and back and forth. I mean, I could literally just look at the Steam numbers, like Steam charts, Apex Legends. Understandably, there's also, this isn't like the actual number. There's also people playing on, was it like the EA launcher or some shit? And then you got people playing on, surprisingly, Nintendo Switch. Got people playing on PlayStation, people playing on Xbox. So this is just the people that play on PC on Steam. No shit, it's fucking Steam charts. So this is a piece of the pie. And this is actually like not too bad as far as like total total peak players for a live service game that's been out for 4 years. This is not that bad. This will probably continue. I mean, but like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do Steam charts, Marvel Rivals. I can't spell rivals. This isn't bad, but this is better. And yeah, that's pretty good. But understandably, it's still about only the first month. You know, who knows how much Marvel Rivals is going to be able to retain this.
Tend to either go after one audience. Competitive-minded people who like to try being the best or just want to scratch a competitive itch, or the casual audience who don't really have any allegiance to the game whatsoever and will just competitive-minded, and while doing so, it loses both of them. Live service games tend to either go after one audience. Competitive-minded people who like to try being the best or just want to scratch a competitive itch, or the casual audience who don't really have any allegiance to the game.
This is both true and untrue, because live service and what audience they are trying to capture completely depends on the game type. It really does. Like a live service game that is a shooting game that has a ranked mode, like for example, name me a live service shooting game that is kind of casual. It's kind of hard. Most live service shooting games, they're just competitive by nature if they have like a ranked mode. Like there's like one example where I have, you have like Warframe. It's a live service. It's a shooting game, and it's been around for 10 years, and this is completely casual. I will debunk my own question. Yeah. But for the most part, if you want to name like another live service game that is not a shooting game, chances are it's probably to some degree kind of casual for the most part. But meanwhile, you're going to say that like, oh, Apex tries to capture both audiences. Well, I think that's the fault of Apex, to be honest, and whoever's like making the decisions over there. Because shooting games, just shooting things, is really hard. Just by its nature, it's hard, especially like on mouse and keyboard. It's really hard to have good aim and put the reticle on someone's head, because if that wasn't the case, more people would be doing it, and aim assist would not exist. So aiming is hard. You gotta understand that. If you don't like it, I mean, just that's a core like fundamental thing you gotta understand. Aiming is hard.
whatsoever and will just jump around to whatever they think is fun or looks like it will be fun. Fortnite is a great example. They have literally thousands of game modes for people to choose from and are constantly adding in new stuff to keep people interested. The competitive scene in Fortnite, while large and actively supported by the developers, is really just more of an arm or leg to the game, whereas in a game like CSGO, competitive is the head and the torso. How does this relate to Apex Legends? Well, I have 3 examples which I'll be talking about. Let's start with the second worst one in my opinion. Engagement optimized matchmaking in public matches. EOMM for short.
Oh my god, I quit. I haven't played like FPS in a while. I forgot this was a thing. Engagement optimized matchmaking, where the game doesn't care about your rank and it just wants to keep you playing the game more if you don't win enough. Jeez. This is so slimy. This is bad for players, but fantastic for business. Like if I personally was an FPS live service game, I would have EOMM in there to keep people engaged and to keep them on longer playing my game. This is a good business move, but bad feeling for I want to say players, but it really depends on the type of player. I could do this like what is this? So I could do this and do a standard bell curve. And if this is the majority of people, engagement optimization feels like you can't really feel it in here. These people can feel it over here. You kind of don't really feel it here. But once you start reaching like down and further on this side, it starts to feel like complete utter dog shit. That's just my 2 cents.
Basically throws skill-based matchmaking out the window and attempts to try and choose when you win and when you lose to try and trick you into playing longer. For as long as I can remember, Apex Legends does not care about putting you with your skill group, unlike almost every other live service game. You'll hear constant complaints from casual players saying they are solo queuing and dying to a 3-stack of people clearly
Oh yeah, the 3 stacks. I fucking forgot about that. Yeah, like it is statistically almost impossible for a solo person to get Predator in this game if they just simply solo queue. Statistically impossible. Like there is a 0.00001% chance for you to get like good or like that rank, like Apex Predator in that game. I don't think it's I don't think any other shooting game it's like that.
way better than them, and it turns them away from the game. Well, that's because of EOMM. I'm a very good player. I should not be in lobbies with noobs, and we can all agree on that. However, if I take, say, a 3 to 4 day break from pubs, not even the game, just the pub playlist, I will 100% be put into a match with people who are nowhere close to my skill level. After about 1 to 2 hours of me absolutely steamrolling people, I will then suddenly have my matchmaking time quadrupled and will even get skipped very often in the queue. These games are filled with nothing but sweats, and the games will stay that way until I take another 3 to 4 day break from pubs. I've seen this play out numerous times over the years, and when someone told me I was wrong, I decided to go play a pub game just to check, and I literally almost broke at the time what was the damage world record. Every person I shot at looked like literal bots. And I can guarantee you, if I played another hour or so, I would have went right back to the sweaty lobbies and I would have been stuck there. With this system, both good and bad players who want a casual experience are frustrated. Noobs are constantly getting farmed.
But then again, I would also say, like, If you're looking for a casual experience, why would you play ranked? But the counter to that is, okay, go play public matches, pubs, but you can't really escape engagement, optimized matchmaking in pubs because they have it there still. If you start doing really good in pubs, well, then it'll start to put you against really good players, and all of a sudden, pubs will feel like ranked. If I wanted to have a match and it feel like ranked, I would go play ranked. But if I want to just play a random public match, then why is EOMM there?
Farmed, and good players are forced to play in the sweatiest lobbies possible until they quite literally stop playing the game and come back later. Skill-based matchmaking isn't bad for gaming. Engagement optimized matchmaking is bad for gaming.
Yeah.
EA has a patent.
Yeah, most people don't give a shit about SBMM. That's fine when it comes to what was it called? When it comes to like ranked mode. Nobody really has an issue there. People do have an issue when you try to slam in skill-based matchmaking or engagement optimized matchmaking in the public matches of your favorite FPS game.
For it and uses it in what I assume is all of their competitive games. Let's move on to example number 2. This will be infamous for veteran players, but for those who didn't play Apex, oh boy, you're in for a ride. The transition from season...
Yeah, I stopped playing like years ago. I mean, when has it only been 4 years since Apex was released? What was the release date for Apex? Apex Legends release date 2019. It's 2024, about to be 2025. So, February too. Okay, so what, about 5-ish years? 6, 5, 6 years. Okay. Yeah, I stopped playing because I was just like frustrated, and I spent like way too much money on the goddamn skins. I regret every one of those.
Season 12 to Season 13 was one of the most poorly handled updates in the history of gaming, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was there for that one.
Lay it out for you. Season 12 turned the very popular ranked playlist from semi-competitive to a participation award and ruined all semblance of competitiveness in this game. If you were an Apex Legends player in Season 12, there was not even a remotely competitive game mode that you can play, which is fine.
Wait, was that the season where a shitload of people got masters? I remember that shit. Wait, did I play that or did I just stop right before that one? Yeah. I think I stopped right before that one. Yeah, that was hilarious to like go back and to like just cuz like at the time I would just like watch random streams and whatnot and be like, "Oh, what's like the rank distribution like this split?" It's like, "Oh, well, there's a good chunk of people where if you got masters if you got diamond in the previous season, you can probably get masters in this season." And that was hilarious to see the distribution be not a normal bell curve, but it was like bell curve, and then once you got to masters, there'd be a huge spike. I'm like, damn, I should have played that season. Too bad I don't care about that game anymore.
That's not inherently bad if you're a casual-centric game. Well, it was like this for 90 days and essentially alienated any player who wanted to play competitively. All right, cool. So we're doing a casual-focused game with lots of releases, and that's the strategy. Well, Season 13 ended up being what was unanimously considered the most competitive the game has ever been. The competitive players that were left rejoiced as they finally had the mode they waited 13 seasons for. Apex pivoted to being an...
Oh, wait, no, I think I confused the seasons. But that was I did play that season. That was the one where if you got a bunch of kills in the beginning, you didn't really get a lot of KP. Or, like, the points didn't really count. You needed to be able to get the multiplier from the final ring. Holy crap. Because, like, I was, like, in that casual tryhard section, and... Bro, the first time I got into like a final ring with my entire team, with like 7 or 8 other teams, like just hunkering down and shit, it felt so cool. I was like, oh my god, is this what all the pros feel like this is pretty cool. It's like a different kind of tension when you're just in that final ring trying to just jockey to stay alive. It was awesome. I forgot what season it was where like a good chunk of people, like a third of people are just masters rank. I forgot that one.
Ultra competitive game, and the casual community became frustrated. What happened to our casual experience? The casual audience was then alienated. This cycle has happened countless times in Apex's history.
But
But see,
but like again, why are you looking for a casual experience in ranked? This makes me confused. I am truly confused. Why are you trying to look for a casual experience in ranked? This makes no sense to me. This is what keeps games from progressing, honestly. It really does. People are wanting to like drop 4K damage, drop like 20 bombs and have the mindset of like it's all effortless. I just came home from work. Oh, I have to drop a 4K 20 bomb in order to alleviate my stress. I just want to turn my brain off and just be like good. Okay, that's literally never happened. That's not everybody that gets those badges. They have to put in a lot of time and effort to like do that well. Okay, they make it look effortless. There's a lot of focus going on. Okay, the people that want all the rewards for so little effort should go do something else.
Season 12 to 13 was by far the worst. This completely removes the identity of the game. When people load up Minecraft, for example, they know what they're getting. When people sit down at a chessboard even, they know what they're getting. You don't know what's going to happen when you load up Apex Legends month to month. The developers just can't make up their mind, and it pushes away everyone to games where they know they'll get what they're coming there for. Example number 3, current Apex Legends. It's in the worst state it's ever.
I literally stopped watching Apex. The only reason I'm watching this is because Watson, he just has like a reputation to just tell it like it is for the most part. He's not necessarily, um, like he kind of has like some friends, but he doesn't. He's kind of had like some what do you call it? Some issues in the past or whatever. But yeah, like, and it was funny because like whenever I was watching Apex, I would be like all into it. I'm gonna watch this guy. I'm gonna watch that guy. Oh, it's so cool. I want to get better. I'm gonna see what they're doing and all that shit. And then just over the course of time, I just got bored of it. I wouldn't watch like the scrims anymore. I would only watch the tournaments. And now I don't even watch the tournaments anymore. Like I don't even watch, what is it called? Like ALGS. I don't even watch ALGS anymore. I could give less of a shit about it. It's not interesting to me anymore. Why? Because the company has a track record, a history of making bad decisions, and I just don't care anymore. So, I mean, they got my money like for the time that I played, so it's whatever. But I mean, shit, if I could take it all back, I would.
Ever been. We're currently in the part of the cycle where the game is just absolutely not competitive in the slightest. Pro teams are dropping 40 kill games consistently, and everyone is
Really?
getting their participation awards for ranked. So, competitive players have nothing to play because Apex isn't scratching that itch for them. So, that's a problem. But here's the second problem. Apex isn't releasing any content whatsoever to keep its casual audience in.
Bro, when was Apex releasing content? Like throughout the year, a couple years that I played Apex, everyone's like, "Oh, where are all the content? Where are all the game mode? Oh, there's an LTM. They're just gonna remove it in a couple months. Oh, where all the content?" Jesus, this is still an issue years later. Wow. Well, no. In their head, in their reality that Respawn has concocted, the content is the skins. That's what they consider content. You have to understand that. To normal people or to anybody that has played the game for a couple months, you got to realize that skins are not content. As much as you want them to be, they're not. Skins is not content.
Intact. We're getting our 4th year of Winter Express game mode with barely any changes to anything else, while other gaming studios are releasing content at breakneck pace. Why would anyone in God's name want to play something like Winter Express while Snoop Dogg is having a concert on Fortnite and Marvel just dropped an incredibly polished Overwatch competitor?
Yeah.
Apex Legends is continuing to lose market share among the casual audience while simultaneously alienating its competitive audience.
Good.
However, that leads into a harsh reality of Apex Legends. Apex
Good.
wasn't supposed to exist in the first place. This is where we start to get into personal anecdotes, more opinionated arguments, and the drama I mentioned earlier. For those that don't know, Apex Legends was originally...
Who doesn't love a good drama? All right? Give me it. Yes, Apex Legends came from Titanfall. Good ass game. Titanfall 1, fantastic. Titanfall 2, even better. Still some issues here and there with the core, some core gunplay things, but for the most part, great game, great story, great mechanics. Literally, what do you call it? Changed up how you thought about movement in a lot of FPS games with wall running and everything. Fantastic.
Supposed to be Titanfall 3. But after the success of the Battle Royale genre, it changed during development to be Apex Legends, and the game was surprise released with essentially zero marketing. It was a complete Hail Mary, putting the brakes on a very...
I mean, hey, that's pretty good for a Hail Mary, bro. There are a lot of game companies that wish they could Hail Mary this. Bro, Concord wishes. This is like the polar opposites of live service. A Hail Mary of Apex Legends is still kicking versus the tenuous, tedious, monotonous, granular planning and $400-500 million of planning years and years of Concord, only to be live for less than 2 weeks. A fly lives longer than Concord. These are the polar opposites of live service games. And this is a Hail Mary, and it's still doing good? Dang, that's a good-ass Hail Mary.
Very moderately successful franchise, Titanfall, to dip their toes in the new genre. What happened next was something EA could never have expected. The game absolutely banged far beyond anyone's expectations, raking in billions and billions of dollars even years after the release, which very likely would not have been the case for Titanfall 3. So that's great. The game did better than expected. That means they'll put more resources into building it even bigger. Well, unfortunately, in my opinion, Apex Legends is a huge victim of corporate America. You see, EA had two options after they caught lightning in a bottle with Respawn's Apex. They either take a risk and keep putting more work into it, hoping it'll grow even larger, or they sit on their fat stack of cash and collect an absolute boatload of money while keeping costs as low as possible.
Well, I think your shirt tells the moral of the story. Money is calling. That is literally the moral of the story.
As I'm sure you can probably guess, as time went on, they shifted way more towards the second one. The expected earnings of Titanfall 3 were absolutely blown out of the water with Apex, and I think...
And this is a question, how do you know and how could you predict expected earnings of Titanfall 3 versus the game that you just released? How would you know that? Some magic juju fucking metrics that you've made up through close focus group testing? Are you kidding me?
This reality made its way down the management chain and severely affects the decisions that Respawn makes with Apex Legends.
And honestly, if Titanfall 3 were to be released, there's no way it would capture the same feel, the same vibe as Titanfall 1 and 2. There is no shot it would be anything close to Titanfall 1 and 2. There's nothing. No way. You think it'll be good? Like, oh, they're finally making Titanfall 3. They announced it on X, and it's like, no, no, dude. It's not gonna be what you think. There's no way.
I've talked to countless Respawn employees from various departments over the years, ranging from art to security to map designers to game balancers to community managers, play testers, etc. And I have heard two gloomy phrases they've all repeated. We want to do blank, but we're not allowed, or all our suggestions fall on deaf ears, both of which imply one major problem. Upper management is either negligent, lazy, or has motives that do not align with the player's best interest.
All three of them. That's what I would say. All three.
Almost every Respawn employee I've worked with directly was absolutely dripping with talent and passion for the game, but they're being actively suppressed by the people above them on the totem pole, and it has been incredibly sad to listen to them slowly lose passion for the game, and most of them, quite frankly, sound like they've given up at this point, and it sucks to listen to. There's one final thing that
That kind of sucks, because like if you're a creative developer or something like that, and you really like the game, and you want to do things with the game, but we're not allowed to. Like, that's what you get. Damn, there's nothing that could kill your passion for something more so than having to hear you're not allowed to. What a joke. What a joke of a company, dude. I mean, and not necessarily Respawn. I mean, I don't know any details or have any insider friends or anything like that, but just hearing that alone, that's business as usual for EA. That's all I hear. That's business as usual.
I think really sealed the nail in the coffin for my love for Apex, and that's the active suppression of community-made content. Almost every game that has stood the test of time has had user-generated content. Minecraft is the most popular game of all time because you can literally do whatever you want. You can build anything you can imagine, and anything you can't build, you can easily mod into the game. Fortnite has a whole catalog of user-made maps with millions of players. Apex Legends has, like I said, actively suppressed all community-made content. There is a modded version of the Apex client where you can kind of sort of make stuff if you know what you're doing. Anyone that has any sort
R5 reloaded. Yeah, you can do a lot of stuff in R5. I played with it a little bit. It was fun.
of involvement in this is literally shunned by Respawn. If you're an EA creator and you even talk about R5 Apex, you will be kicked out of the program. I tried
Can't get kicked out if you're never in.
hosting a $1,000 tournament in this modded version of the game, and I was handed a cease and desist by an EA lawyer in less than a week. Actually, it was probably more like 2 days, but I'm gonna say a week. And of course, they have every right to do this. But the thing is, they're suppressing community-made content.
I mean, it kind of sounds like what Nintendo does with Super Smash Melee. Nintendo hates it when Super Smash Brothers gets popular because of the competitive scene, because it's their ideal for the game to just be a simple party game where you can play your favorite Nintendo character. That's all Nintendo wants it to be. I mean, I think maybe they're changing like a little bit with like Ultimate, but with Melee, there is no support from Nintendo there. That is entirely community driven,
while simultaneously not releasing any of their own. It's no coincidence that the most watched and supported aspect of Apex is ALGS, because it is literally the only outlet for players to do something bigger than the game and create storylines and content that aren't shackled to only trios and ranked and are twice a year new temporary game mode that usually sucks. They aren't making good content at the pace that's needed for them to compete with other titles. They won't let the community make their own content, and they won't make the game competitive. Not one person is shocked that the Apex Legends player count keeps reaching.
Wait, is this like a mod or is this like official content where there was like some like Halo integration into the game? I got no idea.
New all-time.
Well, you guys can't see. Like it's not my fucking stupid ass in the way.
I'm lows. And listen, I'm making this video out of passion. I absolutely love Apex Legends, and I will always have a soft spot for the Apex community and everything you've done for me. You've changed my life, you've changed my family's life, and I've always done my best to change other people's lives because of what you've done for me. I donated probably 30 high-end PCs to the community. I paid for people's trips to ALGS events. I've helped lots of community members with individual personal things, and that isn't even 1% of what you guys have done for me and everyone I know. My dad raised me while working 70 hours a week, and
I don't know about that part.
I got to pay off his car and his house the past few months. He'd be proud of me no matter what, but seeing the person I model
I'll take it with like a as like a good faith thing, but you may have misspoke there.
myself after cry from how proud he is of me is something I can't even put into words. And it has nothing to do with me. You know, you guys chose me, you watch me, you support me. I didn't get to choose to be in this position. You guys picked it for me. Well, thank you. And I never wanted to make a video like this because the game has done so much for me. But I've realized it was never really about the game. It was about the community. And this video is kind of my final attempt to try and get things turned around for Apex so everyone can enjoy the game again. So thanks for watching me play Apex over the years. I'm not sure how much I'll play going forward. And sorry I read the emotional bit straight from the script I have here, but
that's fine.
Every time I've tried saying it on my own, I start bawling uncontrollably. Anyways, thanks for watching. And let me know what you think. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
I think if you really love a video game and it's not going how you want it to, you need to be mentally prepared to just let it go. Understandably, I would imagine it's very hard for, if not damn near impossible, for his Watson to stop because that's like his job. That's how he makes money. So why would you stop playing the game that makes you money to try to do something else? Yeah, so I mean, I get it on that point, but I mean, shit. If I mean, this is kind of about the same concept of how like modern day movies and TV shows and stuff like that are just not as good as they used to be. Like modern day Star Wars is bad. Modern day Lord of the Rings is bad. What else? Modern day fucking Halo is terrible. So many IPs. You know, modern day Marvel is bad. All these IP brands that I used to love are just bad, and I don't really care about them anymore. And I never really thought that I would think like this. I don't know. Maybe it's just like a thing that happens to you as you get older. I don't really know, but yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, thank you for making the video. I mean, honestly, I've heard every single one of these points that he's talked about before. But yeah, a truer true has never been trued. But yeah, good stuff. Hopefully the game changes, but I'm pretty sure it probably won't. Who knows? But yeah, good stuff, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right, later.